Hey guys,
Hello,
I'm Alexis,
I'm Christina.
and we are Pitter Pad.
Bad.
Yes, we are.
Long time no see.
It's been a while.
It has.
I haven't seen you since last year.
Yeah. Actually, though, it's been like what, 3 weeks or something like that now? Maybe a
Yeah,
month,
yeah, yeah, something like that.
something like that.
Something like that.
That's crazy. What have you been up to? How's work?
It's been pretty well actually. I gained more hours, so now I'm gonna get paid more and everything. So that's good. Money coming in is a little bit more. I get to save a little bit more.
That's
It's
good.
nice. It's nice. It really is to have like money and stuff.
Absolutely.
Income.
I know. I came
The big
home.
green.
The big green. Yes.
In other news, wait, did you want to say anything?
I was just gonna say, like, same thing. Like, I came home and like immediately started working at like
Where have you been working?
the grocery store where I used to work, except I don't work in the deli. I work as like an online shopper. So I get to peruse around the store with my earphones in and just do
Ooh,
people's
that's
groceries for
fun.
them. Yeah, it's a lot of fun actually.
That is really fun. Oh my
Mm,
God. That's an online shopper. And then so like people like order online and you just go ahead and like give their stuff for them.
yeah. And then like
Ah.
um if something's like out of stock, then I get to pick something to like substitute it with through my little scanner. It's fun. It actually makes the day go by really fast because like some orders could take like easily an hour and a half. So I'm just like consistently shopping all day, 8 hours,
Oh, that's actually a really, really good job. That's actually a really like stress-free job.
right? It's literally so nice. It's so much better than like standing in the same spot for 8 hours at the deli doing like the exact same thing. Because at least for this one, like the orders are different and sometimes they're like really funny. Like I had someone order like 50 cans of baby food once and I was like, what's going on? Or I literally have had to pick out like toenail clippers for some customers. Like it's
Oh no,
very interesting.
clippers. Oh
Yeah,
my
they wanted
gosh.
like four of them. So I was like, okay. I've had rat traps ordered. So many things. It's very funny.
Oh yeah. The people who don't want to leave the house, they're like, hey, no one will judge me if I buy this online and pick it up instead.
Right? It's so funny. It's very convenient though, because like when my mom was sick, like literally just last week, she placed an order online and then I just went and picked it up for her. So
Interesting. Interesting. The life of this pandemic is so interesting to me. Like, and it's still going too. And it's still
yeah,
like in a way getting worse, but like in a way, it's definitely been shaping society like crazy. Like
that's
I've been watching like commercials recently, and I mean, some of them are so fit for the time period. Hold on, let me charge my phone real quick because my phone is about to die. So I've been like, I saw this ad a couple days back, and it was like it was a paid programming. It was like late night. I think it was like 2 a.m. For some reason I was still up, or me, I couldn't sleep. And I was watching TV, and there was an ad for like a special mask. They were like, oh, it's supposed to protect you against COVID, and it becomes a necklace. If you wear it on your neck, it like turns to a necklace. And it's like, this is so coronavirus specific.
right, like you would have never seen that at all in like 2019.
Exactly. Or like it looks like those ads you watch in history class that are like specific for that time period. and you're like, oh my god, that is so like coronavirus era.
Mhm. No, not the era. You're so right though.
Coronavirus era.
I'm in my COVID era. Like what? That's crazy.
What concept is your music video? Coronavirus.
I'm sick. I hope they never do that. We don't want to relive that time.
Yeah. Well, speaking of isolation and staying at home when you're not, not have to go to do anything, I have been rewatching all the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. On Peacock. They have them all on Peacock. So I've been watching them all from like 1 to 7. And it's been a whole trip. We're watching it as a 20-year-old. In my 20s is definitely a whole new experience than watching it when I was like 12 or like when I was growing up. It's definitely like, damn, this was darker than I thought it was.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely a lot
Super
more stuff
dark.
to understand.
Oh yeah, and I understand most of it now. And like back then, I was just kind of like, oh, this is a lot of this is so complex for me. But I know where Hogwarts house is. Like it was just like more like fun loving back in the day. And now I'm rewatching it, and I'm like, damn, like it started out when you watch the first movie, you're like, oh, this is so sweet. Like they're all going to like little like houses and getting selected, and they're all going to play like some Quidditch and have a grand old time. When you get to like movie 4, you're like, ooh, this is not for like kids.
Right? Things start to get very dark very quick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, especially like the whole like dream sequence parts of, I think it was Order of the Phoenix, something like that. And he starts to like dream about Voldemort, and it's like some real PTSD stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like, how did they not, diagnose this PTSD? Like, do they not have PTSD in the wizarding world? Because a lot of people have PTSD in the wizarding world.
For sure.
Like, it's a lot to think about, that he's dreaming about these things and he doesn't even know if they're like real or happening at the moment. And when people start dying, it's like, damn, this is not something that I would like show to like a 2-year-old.
I know. Honestly, I feel like if you think about it, from the very beginning, there's always that sense of like, this is a little on the darker side, because like literally just starts off with, oh yeah, kid, dead parents, and a family that bullies him. Like the vibes are just off from the very beginning.
But also the beginning, it like, I know what you mean by it looks dark, but at the same time, it looks like there's like always that sense of hope. And you're like, oh yeah,
That's
this is
true.
totally for like little kids, because
That is
he's gonna
true.
break free from this family and he's gonna find a better one, and he's gonna learn magic and stuff, and it's gonna be the coolest thing ever. And you watch like Chamber of Secrets, and he's still at that same house, and you're like, maybe they're not gonna leave. Maybe this is not gonna have a happy ending yet.
Right? Like when every movie starts with him back in the same spot, you're like, wow, it just doesn't get better.
This doesn't get better.
Literally.
Oh yeah. And I watched Chamber of Secrets, and I'm like, what's the problem with him not living with the Weasleys? Like he could definitely live with the Weasleys if he wanted to, and yet he didn't
Absolutely.
choose to. Like Ron adopted him from the first moment he met him. And I'm like, if you didn't want to live with your crazy ass aunt and uncle so bad, why do you go back home with him? You could have just stayed with, I don't know, the Weasley family, who absolutely love you for no reason. Or you can stay with the Grangers. I'm pretty sure the dentist would take him in. Like, why is this
Yeah.
something that doesn't cross his mind?
I know, like he's like, let me just go subject myself to this verbal abuse again.
Again.
Maybe it's in the books. There must be a reason. Or maybe there's no reason. He's just like a kid who didn't really consider that as an option. I don't know.
I know, but like as like a 11-year-old, I would have been like, hey, my family is kind of abusive. Can I stay with yours? Like I wouldn't use the word abusive. I'd say like, hey, I hate my family. Can I just stay with yours?
Literally though.
Like the Weasleys like absolutely love him anyway. And I'm like, why? Why didn't you think about that for like 1 second at least? Like there's no common sense that he could have just, I don't know, left the family that verbally abused him and singled him out every single day.
Good series though. Very good series. I definitely at some point have to watch it again just to like fill in some of the details that I feel like I missed because I was trying so hard to understand everything being thrown at me at once during the first like watch.
Oh yeah. For a good I was never a Harry Potter person growing up. Like I've had a lot of friends who read all the books and they watch the movies and they know they like claim their house as their personality trait.
Yeah.
So and I mean it's definitely like I remember watching it when I was like I don't know, like I was watching it when I was like 9 or 10 and I just couldn't get into it. I'd watch I think it was Chamber of Secrets, Order of Phoenix, something like that. And my mom actually brought it home. We watched it on DVD.
Mm,
And I don't know, I guess I didn't understand it back then, but it was just a lot to take in.
absolutely.
And as I got older, like I'm actually watching it as in my 20s and I'm like, this actually makes sense now. Like this is actually something that I actually like would kind of it's kind of good. Like it's kind of good.
It's also
But
really fun to like
oh yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but when you rewatch something and you know something is gonna happen, but then you pick up on smaller like details that were foreshadowing it the whole time and you never realized it. I love that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. That's a good feeling.
Oh yeah. Or you definitely like after I watch 7, I'm gonna go back and watch 1 again. Like I'm rewatching. Of course, I watched all of them already, but I just never really like paid attention to it. I think I was either like doing something else when I was watching it, or my friends were watching it, and I was like, I'm gonna get some snacks, and I missed like a good decent bit of it. But I'm I I'm gonna rewatch 7 today, part 1. I don't know if I should watch part 2. I might like stay up a little later tonight and rewatch part 2 as well. But anyway, um after I rewatch 7, I'm gonna go back to 1 and see if I like catch anything because 1 is so like it's so eerie in the case that it's so hopeful and cheerful. And it's
Right?
like,
Yeah. Like for people who like have already seen it or at least know the story, it's like uncomfortable because you're like it's not as happy as it seems in the beginning. But
exactly.
yeah. That's what makes it good though. The fact
Mm-hmm.
that there is that kind of twist. Not everybody likes that kind of stuff, but I do. It's good.
Yeah. I I actually do I always say this. I'm like, I'm gonna go back and read the books. And I look at the length of the books. Like, I have friends that when I was like when I was like 7 or 8 years old, my friends would actually read from like page to page. Like they would actually be reading it at all times. And I'm just like I think what always scared me about Harry Potter series and I never really got into it was because of the length of those books. They're so large.
I know.
They're so large.
Crazy.
Like the story is great. I would get sucked in, I feel like, but as an adult, I don't think I have the time to like sit down and read something like page to page that big without having to work in between or having to go to the restroom in between or having to like think about catching up on everything. Like if I missed something in that, I would have to like reread it again. And it's so like I don't know if I would ever get in Harry Potter to the point where I could like know what happens in the books from page to page. So maybe I'm just more of a movie person.
I'm with you on that. I feel like it depends on the genre, because, like, yes, I'll watch the movie a couple times, really get into the story. If the book is shorter, sure, I'll go for it, maybe. But if we're talking like anime and I really like it and I want to read the manga will be read in like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
But
it's
then
just a
again,
different format.
yeah, exactly. And like the manga's different though. It's just like it's so much shorter. Like in a way, it's a way shorter, but the thing that makes it so like a whole saga is the fact that a lot of it is just dialogue. And it's long in the case that the pictures are big,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
What takes me so long too is like they draw out these intricate action sequences and I'm like literally trying to visualize them in my head. So I have to like stare at a page because I'm like, how is their leg doing that? Because it's a drawing, so I don't know exactly what they're doing, but I try my best to kind of like see it as I go.
Yes, but also when you watch manga, you should have photos. You should have like pictures and sequences in a way. It's not like when you like if I read Harry Potter, like there's words. Literally just words. And you
Yeah.
would have to like visualize it in your head, the Voldemort Harry Potter like duel. Duel not duel fight, like the fight.
Yeah.
You'd be like, so the wand is out, and then there's a beam, and then there's like, like when you watch the movie, you're like, oh, at least there's a visual there,
Right.
Maybe I'm
It's
just more a
fun.
visual person. I think we're just more visual people that would just like to see like things happening without having to make it up in your mind. It's so hard to like when I was like 7, I think I could probably be able to do it and create like a really vivid photo in my head. But to like visualize it in your head and watch it on TV, it's totally different.
For sure.
Like in a way, I feel like I ruined it. I watched the movie first because when I watched the movie first, I'm starting to visualize it as like Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, or I see it Emma Watson as Hermione. Like I don't have like a vision of them in my head like most people would when they actually read the books.
Right.
Like
Yeah, like my roommate, because she read the books. She's like a huge fan. She knows like most of the ins and outs. And I watched them with her. And she would tell me things like, oh, well, technically Harry Potter doesn't actually look like this. And I'm like, I can't picture anybody else. That's like all
I
I know.
know.
But the
It's like
book describes him differently. So I'm like, I can't even picture that.
it's like Daniel Radcliffe not as Harry Potter. Then who? Then who else?
Right? Exactly. Literally, exactly. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Another series that I actually really got into, but the movies versions of them were like terrible and they kind of like ruined the whole deal. But Percy Jackson, I would read those from like page to page, and I like finished the whole saga in like a school year, like a whole school year. I was like reading them like in my free time, and and the books are smaller, but the story I feel like it's more intricate in a way. Like it's just interesting. But anyway, when I would think about like Annabeth or think about the characters, I always imagine them differently in my head than like seeing them on the movie. Movie was terrible. But anyway, like that's what I mean by like it's so much more different to like visualize it in your head and have an imagine like the imagination of the whole scene happening and then to watch the movie and being like kind of disappointed. It's like, oh, so that's what you think they look
Right?
like. And I
Percy
can kind of feel like Harry Potter fans are kind of like that when it comes to like small things.
Very true. Like, I feel like one of the most frustrating things is probably like plot holes, or like maybe they have like a favorite scene or something that they were just waiting to see on screen and it never happened. That's so
Oh yeah.
frustrating.
Oh yeah, exactly. And oh yeah, like I have so many scenes like that I'm just kind of like in other books that I've read that are like, this is not how this is supposed to go. And this is not like, why couldn't they fit this one in? It was like less than a minute in. They could probably just fit this one in. My favorite scene ever. Um, but also Harry Potter in general, movies are like 2 hours long. And you can only fit so much in 2 hours.
That's so true.
You can only fit so much in 2 hours. If they made it longer, it'd be like too long. It'd be like insanely long. But also the book in general is like a day read. If you just don't like think about anything else, you just consume, it's like a whole day's worth of reading for like at least like maybe a couple books.
Very true. Honestly, I really admire like the writers of the scripts because I don't know how they do it. Like
Oh yeah.
how do you piece together, like how do you know what details to pull out and like what dialogue to use? It's mind-blowing.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you've watched the HBO series recently, but anyway, they went back to Hogwarts in quotes, of course. And they were talking about when they did Sorcerer's Stone, well, Philosopher's Stone in the UK version. And they said that they were just being kids the whole time. Like in breaks and stuff, they were just like playing games and stuff like that, and they just didn't like have to think about too much. And the adults and the directors like that, they had like corral them to make sure that the scenes were done well. And I can just imagine, can you imagine like 100+ kids all dressed in different attire? And of course you have Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, and Daniel Radcliffe, like these kids, and you have to like make them say lines, or you have to make them like behave and do well and make sure the scene goes properly. And I can just imagine the pure insanity and chaos that must have taken place. Like, oh my gosh, I could just, it's unimaginable, like unimaginable.
Absolutely. I can't imagine the noise just in that room in between like scenes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Must have been like astronomically loud.
Oh yeah. And and it was like, yeah, there's I think about it so much, and I think about like just the growth of a person. Like, can you imagine at age like 8 or 9 years old, and you had to play this character, and you had to continue playing this character for 10 years? The amount of growth a person would have to go through to just play the same character over and over again. It's like, and as a person looking from the outside in, to see a person play a character for over time and have to go through puberty and have to like go like be an adult. Like by the end of it, they were all young adults. Like I don't know how to think about that. I'm like, damn, that was a whole personality trait at that point.
Literally. But in the back of their head, they were like, if I was in this situation, but like as this character, what would I do? And they're just like eating breakfast in the trailer. Like I feel like they're probably always thinking about their role throughout their life in the back of
Oh
their head.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And like the amount of like they're all really close friends. Like they once you spend so much time with that cast and you spend so much time just nonstop being with those people, like they become family. Like, can you imagine like that group chat? Oh my gosh, that group chat must be so chaotic.
Oh, yeah. I can't even imagine.
Harry Potter group chat. Oh my gosh. And they're all like in their 30s now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They're all like married or getting married soon or not even close to getting married and have like a full-on career outside of that. And like, damn, it's a whole different story to like rewatch the Harry Potter series for the plot, but another like see the growth of the person from the first movie to the seventh movie. It's yeah, I've probably gone completely off topic now. But anyway, good stuff.
It's a good topic though, because like they spent so much of their lives doing that specific role, and you can see like physically how much they've changed. Because obviously, like the role is the same, but we go from like babies to like adults.
Yeah,
So
I
weird.
know. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine being like a director for that. Like to like start out and have to corral those kids for like a whole movie. And then by the end movie, everyone is like, okay, now scene. And then everyone is like well behaved and knows exactly what they're doing and are like full on career. Like they like know what they're doing for the rest of their lives. And they've been acting for years. And this is just like clockwork.
Right.
Like, wow.
That's crazy. Kudos to everybody in the acting industry.
Kudos, honestly. And I like how a lot of the cast of Harry Potter, they started really young, but they all turned out pretty good adults. They
Very
all turned out to
true.
be really good people.
Yeah, and their careers have pretty much continued.
I know. And they've all like they're all rich now, definitely. Once you do that for your like beginning of your career, you have no worry about money for the rest of your life.
I can't even imagine, like, what does a child do with all that money?
Put it in a bank account for college.
You're right. At the same time, like, how do you do college when you're filming, like, stuff like this?
Oh yeah. I'm
That's, like,
pretty sure they had
years.
breaks in between or something. You know, like they could probably like spend a whole summer at home or something, or
That's true. I'd
they were
probably be
all
like,
homeschooled, I think.
true. I'd just be, like, in my little camper writing, like, my essay in between, like, scenes.
Oh my god, can you imagine all like the cute little like they're all like really young and they're all like staying in a circle doing math together, like what'd you get on that problem? And they're
Aw,
all doing like math together. Like that'd be really cute to
that
watch.
is really cute. That is cute. But also imagine having to be the instructor.
Oh my gosh,
Or like loopholes
no.
that you have to jump through just to like accommodate for child actors.
Oh my god, yeah. But also there's a small part of me that wishes I was born in the UK just so I could be an extra in Harry Potter. Like, wouldn't that be the coolest thing ever to like, I don't know, be on the set and have to be one of the extras, but you're like sitting on the tables and you get to like witness the scene happen and you're like in your robe and you get to like be part of one of the houses.
That
Oh,
would be a lot of fun.
that's one of the moments in my life that like, damn, I wish I had that.
Yeah, I wonder where all those kids are now.
Hope they're all doing okay. Hope they're all doing just fine.
Me too. They put in their good hard work. I wonder if they use like the same like group of students throughout the movies.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, it'd be hard to notice because there were just so many of them, but like that'd be so cool.
I know, right? And also, I would love if they like sorted them anyway. Like even if they didn't get shown on screen, something like that, or they like I wish like you know they had like a set of ropes and you get like pick which one. If they like really like Harry Potter, they can like pick which house they associate with, and they can like pick which table they're gonna be on.
Yeah, that'd be
Uh
cute.
that'd be the coolest thing ever. To like pick and then be that person, be like that extra for the rest of the movies. But I don't know if that would be that special.
I think it is special. It's a little interactive. Probably makes you feel like closer.
I know, just like, damn. Harry Potter's pretty cool. Like, I'm real honest. I am in my 20s. We're watching Harry Potter, and I gotta say, this is a pretty good story. This is a pretty great plot. Like, it's not very like jumpy. It's very straightforward, and I like that.
For sure. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I also wished that the directors for Harry Potter would have jumped onto Percy Jackson and like done an actual series Percy Jackson that wasn't crap.
That's the thing, like, it's already been done, and remakes are like really not common. So it's like you gotta live with it.
No. They could have done better. I'm just saying. They could have had the success of Harry Potter if they just put effort into maintaining the plot. Oh my gosh. I'm just so upset about it. I wish they were the same as Harry Potter and like did it right the first time.
That's very upsetting.
uh, Also, there's so many movies out there. I'm like, damn, if you just followed the Harry Potter sequence, you would have done something good. So many books out there that just got ruined because of bad filmmaking.
Yeah. You would think they would learn from their mistakes in previous works.
Oh yeah. Like no one has done anything Harry Potter. No one has done anything like Harry Potter. That is like
Yeah, in terms of
saga
series,
to movie.
I think you're right. Because any other books that have become like a movie saga, I don't know if they've been as critically acclaimed
I know,
as
right?
the Harry Potter series. Or it's just like the fact that like you can see the improvements in like overall technology and CGI with
Mm-hmm.
the movies, like as time goes too. Like they actually put in the effort to learn and like make it better. It's still a little flawed, but like it was good.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, Marvel has done an amazing job at like sticking with some sort of comic-ish to it. But damn, like book, like paperback book sagas into movies have only reached so little success, like higher than Harry Potter. Like I don't think there's any saga that I've ever seen that has ever reached that level of like that Harry Potter has reached. Like, oh, it's one of the things that kind of upsets me, honestly. It's like, damn, they could have done better. They really could have. Like, so much time wasted. If they just had gotten a fan, if they just had gotten like a fan that genuinely liked the book to sit down with them and say, like, this is terrible.
Just had them absolutely trash their movie.
Yeah, just say this is absolutely terrible. Remake it.
They should have done it. That's frustrating. Honestly, it makes me feel bad for like the authors as well, because I feel like, I mean, they put their whole life's work into some of these, and they had a certain vision for how it was supposed to turn out, and it just didn't. Not in every case, because there are some books that have become movies that have been good, but like Some of them are just, they're not it. You're not that guy.
That guy. Oh yeah. Trying to think. Avatar, The Last Airbender. Oh, they would have made it great if they just cast the right people, had great filmmakers, and then just made it work. Like, so many times I'm like, this cast would not do it. I would make my own cast. Like, you know what? If I had the money to do it, I'd say, you know what? I'm making my own Avatar remake movie. You know? Also, if it were up to me, I would continue that saga. I would continue the cartoon.
Yes,
like,
we need Avatar back.
I would continue the cartoon and then make a live action movie that actually looked good. Like, actually looked good. That's what I would do. If I had the money to do it, I would do that. Right. I would do that.
And sometimes it's about the people who you pick to be a part of the cast too. Like, not that they're not talented, but sometimes they don't look the part, or they're just not, they're not that good. Like, there were better options.
I know. Like, I think we could definitely make an Asian cast that would actually work for Avatar. Yes. We could make it on the spot.
Right now.
We could make it on the spot right now, honestly.
I feel like you probably know more than me.
Put in some Korean actors, some Taiwanese actors, some, just like sprinkle it in. Sprinkle it in that good juju and then make it work.
Actual Asian actors. That's the whole point.
Yes. And of course add some South Asian actors, some Southeast Asian actors, like add that good. Yeah. That good. Exactly. That isn't white. Like,
you're so right though. You're so right.
I had to say it.
So right. I don't know why they're so afraid to just accurately portray a character. And it's like, it's okay to ask for help if you need like some pointers from that specific community. Just ask. They'll be more than happy to help you, especially if you're willing to learn and make your product better.
Yeah. Like, technology has gotten to the point where now we could actually make a really, really good live action Avatar movie if someone is committed to the craft and actually provides good representation. And oh my god, speaking of some amazing representation recently, Encanto.
Shout out to Encanto.
That is a good example of great representation. Like, the spectrum of diverse colors in that movie, amazing representation of hairstyle types. There is a little bit of everything, and I love it. I love that movie so much right now. It's like one of my favorite movies at the moment. It's so well made, and I have no complaints.
Exactly. I am the number one grandma hater in the world.
Your number one grandma hater?
The number one abuela hater is me. And it's not going to change. I know they're trying to make me feel bad for her at the end, but I still don't like her.
Yeah.
I guess that's how you know it's good, though, because they really showed you, like, just how much she traumatized the family.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god. But also it plays into, like, that whole toxicity of kind of, like, selfishness and then I guess the ending of what it means to be a family and what it means to take care of your grandkids and what it means to, I guess, support the people that you love and not. I'm trying to think about this. You have, like, a better moral.
No, you're right though. You're very right. It's hard to, like, put such a heavy topic into a movie because, like, realistically, you're not gonna make up with your whole family in like 2 minutes, but like they did a good job of putting it together, especially
Yeah.
for a kids movie. I guess I feel like sometimes they say it's a kids movie, but like the message is a little heavier.
Oh yeah. Like the kids watch it for the songs, but like us us young adults who watch it for, I guess, what it means to be in a diverse group of people and not be singled out as different. I feel
Mhm.
like there's so many analogies between the black sheep of the family and like how they're not accepted in the community, but in a way maybe they have their own gift that isn't
Yeah,
something you can place in a box. Ooh, that's a good one.
bars. Yeah, there's been so much like controversy around it, both like good and bad. Like the good stuff is obviously like the representation, like the good music, the variety of like artists and everything, everybody that was involved. And then there's like that whole problem with like the white people and how they're just trying to claim that movie or be like, oh, well, these characters are obviously like, I don't want to be mean, but like, oh, like this guy's gay. Like, no, he's just a person of color. He doesn't have to be. Not everybody is good. But yeah, like just because like Luisa is like tomboyish, I guess she still wears a like it doesn't have anything to do with her sexuality. She's just a lovely little gal, a strong little gal.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it's more than just, I guess, the more than just like, oh, this person's part of this community, this person's part of this community. Like it's not meant to be claimed in any way. They're in Colombia. I think that's enough to be said. But like the main big deal is the story, the plot, the moral of the story, the
Exactly.
impact it has in the Latinx community. Like it's more than just like, oh, this person is clearly different sexuality. Like, like
Right? Like first of all, how do you know that? Second of all, you can find that somewhere else, but the story wasn't made for that purpose.
exactly.
So don't
Exactly.
change it. They're so goofy. They're so goofy. Or just like I've seen people say like, "Oh, so and so is hot." That's like a 15-year-old. Can you please like just get some help, please? This is a family-friendly environment. Just get some help.
Oh my gosh.
Like that literally was never one of my thoughts. Like I never was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "Oh, he's so cute," or like, "Oh my god, she's beautiful." But it's not like I'm in love with this person.
I'm in love with this person. Except Pedro, the like the abuelo, the grandfather.
Yeah,
He's
that's
good looking.
acceptable though because he's obviously an adult.
He is so good looking. That
Yeah,
aside, honestly, great movie.
it is a great movie.
What do you have to add to it? I feel like, it's nice to hear your point of view on it.
Honestly, I saw a lot of like obviously like my own family in it. I don't know where I would place myself specifically. There's some things that changed between like watching it in Spanish and English. Like a lot of no, I guess not too many, but some of the complaints I've heard is like, yes, they're from Colombia, but they don't sound like it, like accent wise. Because Colombian accents are very, very distinct. It's like one of the most beautiful Spanish accents, but like you can't tell that's where they're from. At the same time, it's hard to find sometimes voice actors that can really like pull the role together because some of the actors that they used voiced the stuff for English and Spanish too. So I really enjoyed it. honestly, for me, it was like just like fun. You just to hear something that sounds kind of like what my everyday environment is like especially in the music. I heard some of the instruments. I'm like, oh, this is so like homey, if that makes sense.
Mm.
That's what was nice about it. It wasn't even like the visuals as much. Because I know some people care more about like, oh, this person looks like me. It's representation. Of course it is. But for me, the representation was more in like the environment, the food, the language, like that kind of stuff. I thought was really nice.
I really wish they added more of like people who actually were from Colombia to voice the actors.
Yeah,
Um, but I see like it's going somewhere. It's not going somewhere. Like I see something happening there that isn't something that has been around very until very recently. So
yeah, absolutely. It's a good movie. I don't really have any complaints about it. Because my sister, like, she watched it with a friend, and she's like an orchestra player. So she's big on like, she listens to the musical aspects of things. And she watches stuff. She was like, the music wasn't even that good. And I was like, but that's not the point.
I can't believe she literally dissed. We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about
That's literally
Bruno
one of the
is
best songs
like
like ever. It's such a good song. It really is.
good.
And it sounds good. Like one of the things about Lynn, shout out to Lynn,
Shout out to
Manuel
Lynn.
Miranda. It's like he managed to make music that sounded good in every single language. Like every dub that I've heard, the songs have been so good. They've just
Mhm.
I don't know how he did that. I don't know who was casting like the voice actors, but like it turned out so well, like in every aspect.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like so good. Like the rhythm. I feel like that's the key to it. The rhythm, the beat, the musical aspect to it, the overlaying of the overlay part where they start putting like the verses on top of verses on top of verses. Oh, that part is so good. It's not chaotic. I feel like you can only I feel like you can overstep that line of being chaotic. It kept the song going. It had the overlap as a background sound, and then it had Maribel in the front center saying like she wants to find more about Bruno. She finds out about Bruno and she feels the aspect, and like you can hear the tone of the music go up. It's like, oh, the suspense. There's suspense there. And it's so well made. It's so much more than just, oh, it's the song about Bruno. We're not gonna talk about Bruno. Um, it's and then the little like it has a little bit Bohemian Rhapsody to it in a way though. Like it has like that little bit where it goes from like top to like very quiet. It's like very like strong, intense to like kind of acapella-y, and it has a little bit of like a little bit everything, and I like it. I like it. It's
Yeah,
good.
very experimental in a good way though, because it turned out really well. I think if
Exactly.
there's anybody that could have pulled it off, it's definitely him.
It's definitely Lynn. What's up?
Yeah, yes. That's the first step, like you said, like obviously they're not all Colombian, but just using like Latin American artists in general to put it together is a big step. They're doing good.
Didn't they get Maluma in there?
They did.
They
Shout
did.
out to Maluma.
Yo, what's up? I think he played Mariano, right?
Yeah, he did.
He played like the boyfriend hunk dude.
Yes. Who kind of looked like him, just looked like longer hair. Or people said he looked like Markiplier.
No.
He kind of does.
Oh my gosh. Just like the I also really like the art style of it. You know, it's very colorful and it has a very nice like overall look. Like
Yeah,
it's more than it really highlights their gifts. Especially I love Isabella's like flowers when she pulls out all the flowers like that. Like it has a really nice color dynamic that I like.
yeah, it was really, really. pleasing to the eye.
pleasing
Like
to the
every single aspect of it. It was so smooth.
so much to be said.
Yeah, I hope they'll continue to do stuff like that. And I appreciate our representation with like Coco and Encanto and stuff, but I hope that they'll dive into others, like other countries, other cultures. Like I want to see like Asian countries, African countries, stuff like that. Like authentic, because obviously in like films, it'll either take place in a certain spot or something. But I want I want to learn about their culture, like their family dynamics and how it's different.
Yes.
But make it fun and make
Yes.
it a movie.
Uh more amazing music. I feel like Disney does a really good job at just picking people to make good music.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big music fan. I love a good musical. I love a
Absolutely.
good, like a good little piece, bit and piece of every single thing. You know, like isn't just like the same music over and over again. Like they had like Soul came out last year and that was amazing.
Oh my god, yeah,
Like,
Soul was so good.
oh my god. And then we had like, oh, they're actually doing something about representation of minority cultures and it's actually going somewhere. Like it's not perfect, of course. Nothing will be perfect. There'll be people with criticism and it's something that will always happen, but
Mm-hmm.
it's it's going somewhere. And that's what I like about it. You know, like it's we don't the light is not we don't have reached the light yet, but we're walking towards it. And I feel like that's so interesting.
Right? I think the most interesting, one of the most like eye-opening things about stuff like this and like more representation in media is like not to go back to like white people, but I guess they really are like the the problem. But like you see them like loving all this stuff, but then you think about like your own experience and you're like, but the people that I was surrounded with didn't like this stuff. Or like I
Mm,
didn't feel like I could share that with them. So I feel happy and I'm like, oh my gosh, now like people are finally enjoying this, but at the same time I'm like, ooh, it's so weird to like share that with someone because it never felt
mm-hmm.
comfortable. Like with the music, I'm like, these people actually like to listen to this kind of music. But like whenever I put it on, they were like, oh, what is this? It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works either, honestly. Like, I don't know. Maybe because our childhood is just kind of like, oh, people didn't accept us back in the day. So, like, what's the trick? you're, you're kind of
Yeah,
like,
it's like you
what's
gotta
the
be playing
catch?
me right now. Yeah, exactly.
like this now? Are you joking? Like, is there something? Are you tricking me right now? Am I being pwned? Like,
Right? Like where was this enthusiasm a couple years ago?
exactly.
I mean,
Oh my god.
it's better late than never, for sure.
Yeah, better late than never. But also, why so late?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's all good stuff though. I like good representation media. Um Also it's really important that it's done well. I feel like that's another I guess summary of our podcast today is that it's just there will always be criticism of media. You can only do so much in a short span of time. But also when you can, even if it's for 1 minute, do it well.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I think it shows a lot of respect for that group of people if you do it well the first time.
Yes. And never use the excuse of talent is not enough, or never use the excuse of we can't find this person because they don't exist, you know. Like
Right? Because they definitely
definitely
do.
definitely don't use like race as a or like to never use what am I trying to say here anyway.
I know what you mean.
Yes, never. If you want to make something, make it well, and if you can get opinions about what you want to do, and make sure that it's done to represent the right amount of people, that isn't just, oh, this talent pool, like branch out a talent pool every once in a while. Don't use the same actors for the same thing over and over again unless it's for meaningful purposes.
Correct.
And definitely use representation, a good mechanism for everything you do, because it will affect people's lives no matter what. Like I've seen, especially recently, a lot of kids are finding themselves movies, and it's something that we didn't grow up with. Definitely, like when I was a kid, I couldn't pinpoint myself in a movie, and now I can kind of see a person in my vision when I watch a movie now, which is something that a lot of kids didn't like. I didn't grow up with, so
right.
I guess that's something I want to add.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of jarring almost because like before I even watched Encanto, one of my like friends sent me a picture of one of the characters. I'm like, oh my god, this looks like you. I was like, who is that? I mean, yeah, she's super cute, but who is that? But it was like kind of endearing. I was like, oh, you thought about me when you saw
Yeah,
this.
looks like you. That's amazing.
Yes. I was like, you know what? Maybe it does. Like I could actually just like wear what they're wearing.
You
Then we
could
meet them.
cosplay as Maribel. You really could.
I could. I just need to
Why
like
not?
spray paint my glasses.
Spray paint my glasses.
Yes. I feel like Maribel's a mixture of my sister and I, because my sister has the short hair, but we both look similar. So it's like we both look like her combined as one person. Because we both have glasses, we both have like the same features, hair. Mine's just longer.
You could cut it short though. You've had it short before.
True. I just have to learn how to style it. Because last time I cut it short, I had a side part and that it didn't work. It just didn't work. Yeah. I need to go to the right barber too. Because, like, last time I got it trimmed was like Thanksgiving break. But she didn't do my layers. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, short enough. Like, there aren't enough layers. So my hair is just kind of like straight, wavy, kind of. Yes.
It looks nice though. I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a little and then go to the professional salon that my mom goes to, which is a little more expensive, but like she cuts it really well
Mm-hmm.
and it looks healthy. So, yes,
That's great.
yes. Shout out to filmmakers and the
Shout out to people who actually are getting down and saying like representation does matter, and community representation does matter, and we need to find people to represent a community of people in the best way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's, I guess, the moral of the podcast.
Yes.
If anything, that's it. You got anything to add?
Stay warm or cold. We had a big snowstorm here. We have another one coming. So stay warm if you're on the East Coast.
Stay warm if you're in the South, because it's cold down here too.
Is it really okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay warm in general. Cover up.
Stay warm.
Warm up your car at least like 5-10 minutes before you use it.
If you find ice, use the antifreeze.
Yeah, beware of ice.
Don't slip and fall. Don't die.
Wear boots. Wear gloves.
Don't get frostbite. don't think you're cool by going out in short sleeves and t-shirts.
Right. You get your booster shot.
Get your booster shot. Yes. Stay wary of Omicron. Omicron will get you. It's the one most infections one so far this year.
Correct.
So definitely be wary of Omicron. Take care of yourself, sanitize, put masks on. Eat healthy, drink water, exercise every once in a while if you can. I wish good luck and good fortune in your future.
Yes. Good luck for
Chinese
this
New Year.
week.
Yes. Chinese New Year is on the February 1st, so if you're celebrating, be wary of celebrations. Year of the Tiger is coming up, aka my year, so all tigers out there, shout out to you.
Stream Tiger Inside by Super Rem.
Stream Tiger
That's the theme song for this year.
Honestly, yes, it's like the whole it's gonna be playing, it's gonna new national anthem. Honestly, we're gonna be playing it at all the stadiums, so be wary of that.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Chinese New Year celebrations are gonna be fun. I think my school's gonna do some stuff to honor that, so I'll probably go to any little events they have on campus, learn more about it.
We can even do a podcast about it one day if you want to.
Yeah, we could. Just have you teach for 40
Have
minutes.
me teach what I know, even though it's very little. All I know is that it's my year, and I get to say that it's my year the whole year.
Hey, that's important.
All right, guys, we'll see ya.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.